I bought a Vespa GTS for my wife, but I end up riding it more than my Harley Davidson. That right there is a comment I read recently, and it is the ultimate truth about these machines. There is a massive misconception in the motorcycle world. A lot of guys think you need a massive, loud, heavy or very fast motorcycle to prove you are a real rider. But honestly, it takes a certain level of confidence to leave the big bikes in the garage, jump on a Vespa and just enjoy the ride without caring about your ego. But before you go out and buy a big scooter like the GTS 300, let's talk. Today I want to give you a realistic look at the pros and cons you need to know before buying one. Welcome to a sunny ride through the city. Let's start with one of the most obvious features. The step-through frame. Motorcycle purists absolutely hate it because you can't grip a gas tank with your knees. But what you lose in sporty control on twisties, you gain in pure, unmatched convenience. You don't need to stretch, swing your leg over, or gear up like a Power Ranger just to go grab a coffee. You just step through and go. And in the city, this thing is a total cheat code. The liquid-cooled 300cc engine combined with the automatic CVT transmission means you will beat almost any car off the line at a red light. Riding a manual bike in bumper-to-bumper traffic means pulling a heavy clutch 100 times until your hand cramps. On the Vespa, you just twist the throttle and glide past everyone. It's absolutely effortless. Which brings me to another massive pro. You completely escape chain maintenance. If you own a regular motorcycle, you know the drill. Cleaning the chain, lubing it every few hundred kilometers, dealing with the mess on your rear wheel. With the Vespa, you never have to look at the chain again. However, that automatic transmission does come with a small catch. A motorcycle chain will stretch and get noisy to warn you it's dying. A CVT belt on a scooter is completely silent and requires zero daily maintenance. But if you ignore the manual, it can snap at speed and leave you stranded. That's why the manufacturer strongly recommends replacing the drive belt every 10,000 kilometers or about 6,000 miles. Do that and you'll never have an issue. Speaking of maintenance, because the engine and rear wheel are so deeply integrated into the body, doing simple tasks takes a bit more labor. Want to change the rear tire? You have to take the exhaust off first. So, service can be slightly more expensive than a basic motorcycle. I'm curious, for those of you who take your Vespa to the dealer, how much does a standard service cost you in your area? Let me know in the comments. Another huge factor to consider is the weight. Look at it. It looks like a cute light toy, right? Wrong. Unlike almost every other scooter on the market, a Vespa is built like a tank. The entire body is a single piece of steel. This means it weighs over 160 kilograms. That's over 350 pounds. Now, this is actually a massive pro on the open road. That weight gives it an incredibly planted, stable feel when the wind blows or when you are riding alongside big vehicles. It feels premium and solid, much like a real motorcycle. The only time that weight becomes a con is when you are trying to push it backward on a slight incline into a tight parking spot. You will definitely feel every single kilogram. Now let's talk about two things that might annoy you. First, the 12-inch wheels. A standard motorcycle has 17-inch wheels that roll right over potholes. Hitting a deep pothole with a Vespa's wheels is something you'll definitely feel. Combine that with the classic single-sided front suspension and the front end can dive pretty hard under heavy braking. A lot of seasoned owners end up upgrading to aftermarket shocks like Bitubo or Zelioni just to smooth this out. If any of you have added this to your GTS, let me know in the comments if they are actually worth the money, because I'm also considering doing this upgrade at some point. Second, the storage space. You buy a big scooter thinking it has a massive trunk under the seat. Plot twist. The underseat storage on the big GTS 300 is so weirdly shaped because of the engine that you literally cannot fit a helmet inside. You actually have a better chance of fitting a helmet inside the smaller Vespa models. It's ironic, but most of us just end up buying the top case anyway to solve the problem. So, let's wrap it up. It has a weird underseat storage, hitting a pothole isn't the most comfortable experience, and you have to keep an eye on that belt replacement. But the pros? The unmatched convenience, the traffic beating CVT, zero chain maintenance, the premium stability on the road, and most importantly, the sheer character of the bike. In my opinion, the pros heavily outweigh the cons. I absolutely love this machine. It makes every boring city commute feel like a holiday in Italy. It's exactly why I'm taking it to Rome this June for the Vespa World Days 80th anniversary event. You don't buy a Vespa with your brain, you buy it with your heart. If you are man enough to get over the scooter stigma, it might just become the most ridden bike in your garage. Let me know down below what you think the biggest pro or con of owning a scooter is. Drop a like if you enjoyed this ride, hit subscribe so you don't miss the epic trip to Rome, and I'll see you in the next one.